The vimanas were made of precious metals and adorned the sky like bright stars. They could fly at extremely high speeds and change direction at will. They were armed with powerful weapons and could destroy entire armies. The vimanas were used by gods and demigods to travel through the sky and to fight in wars. In the Indus Valley lie the ancient ruins of a lost city, a massive metropolis dating back thousands of years. It is said that this city was so vast that it housed more than 70,000 inhabitants, a hub of trade, culture, and human ingenuity. However, at the height of its greatness, a mysterious and devastating event forced all its inhabitants to flee suddenly, leaving behind only silence and desolation. This is the enigmatic story of Mohenjo Daro, a mysterious place that still today sparks debate among scholars around the world and inspires theories so extraordinary as to overturn everything we thought we knew. Today, we will talk about Mohenjo Daro, about an ancient conflict that saw the use of extraordinary weapons of destruction, and about a mysterious civilization whose traces have been lost. But before we venture on this fascinating journey, we invite you to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss our new videos and support our work. In a remote corner of southern Pakistan, nestled in the Indus Valley about 300 kilometers northeast of Karachi, lies buried in the sands of time the city of Mohenjo Daro, a stone and earth enigma speaking of an ancient civilization forgotten more than 5,000 years ago. This city was the beating heart of a civilization that mastered the secrets of urban planning, hydraulic engineering, and art. But a sudden and devastating event erased its history forever. Only towards the end of the 1800s, some works related to the construction of a railway accidentally brought to light some mysterious artifacts. But it was not until 1922 when the British archaeologist Sir John Marshall began excavations in the region of the Indus Valley that the remains of this wonderful and immense city were unearthed. The streets of Mohenjo Daro are laid out with incredible geometric precision and form an intricate labyrinth of rectangular blocks and regular intersections. The houses, to make them more resilient, are built with sun-baked clay bricks and are raised on platforms to protect them from floods. Added to these are the presence of granaries and craft shops. One of the most iconic places in the city is the Great Bath, a vast pool surrounded by colonnades and steps. Its exact function remains a subject of debate among scholars. Some think it may have been used for religious rituals or purification, while others believe its true function was that of a public bath, much like those built many centuries later by the Romans. In addition to residential and public structures, Mohenjo Daro also features a sophisticated drainage system, composed of channels and pits that testify to the technical skill of the ancient engineers. This system allowed the inhabitants to manage the monsoon rains and keep the city free from floods. It is believed that the inhabitants of Mohenjo Daro were a peaceful people devoted to agriculture. No particular weapons or war tools have been found in the city. However, the city appears to be protected by solid surrounding walls. As we know, most human civilizations took place mainly along great rivers, as demonstrated by the ancient Egyptian civilization that flourished along the Nile, or the Sumerian civilization that thrived between the Tigris and Euphrates. It is therefore not surprising that along the banks of the Indus a flourishing civilization emerged, covering a vast area extending from Afghanistan to northwestern India, thus embracing an extremely vast territory. Until the early 20th century, this extraordinary and ancient culture was almost entirely unknown until the remains of the city of Harappa and Mohenjo Daro, the latter considered the main urban center of the Indus Valley and one of the most imposing cultural centers of antiquity, were rediscovered. This discovery has shaken the prevailing beliefs among historians and academics, who believe that Indian civilization had emerged around 1250 BC in the Ganges Valley. In light of archaeological evidence, it became necessary to revise the dating of Indian civilization, pushing it back by about 1,500 years, to 3000 BC. Although Mohenjo Daro is the most well-known finding in the region, over 1,000 settlements were identified, including Harappa, Ganajawala in modern Pakistan, and Dholavira, Kalibangan, Rakhigarhi, Rupur, and Lothal in India. These discoveries have highlighted the richness and complexity of the Indus Valley civilization, a civilization still largely shrouded in mystery. Among these mysteries is certainly the sudden disappearance of the city of Mohenjo Daro. What archaeologists have discovered during the excavations has indeed raised many questions and perplexities. As we said, the city seems to have been abandoned abruptly. During the research, about 40 skeletons that appear to have died of a mysterious and sudden death have come to light. In the late 1970s, researcher William David Davenport, after many years of study, published a study that caused a great stir due to the incredible conclusions he reached. According to Davenport's research, the city of Mohenjo Daro would have been destroyed by an explosion very similar to what a modern nuclear bomb would be capable of triggering. To support his thesis, Davenport cites clues that were found during the excavations, particularly referring to some skeletons that were found in the streets and inside buildings. These skeletons appear to be calcified as if the victims, before dying, had been exposed to a powerful heat wave that caught them by surprise and burned them alive in an instant. Davenport also claims to have identified the epicenter of the explosion, where he found fused and vitrified rock, similar to what is observed during nuclear explosions, where the ground due to immense heat melts and vitrifies. However, some skeptics challenge Davenport's theories, arguing that there is insufficient evidence to claim that the explosion was nuclear in nature. They argue that if it had been a nuclear bomb, we would have had to find high levels of radioactivity, which was not detected in the region. Moreover, the structure of the houses and city walls, although damaged, are still standing, which contrasts with the total destruction that would be expected from a nuclear explosion, like those observed in Hiroshima or Nagasaki. Other scholars suggest that, rather than a nuclear weapon, some form of natural disaster, such as a major earthquake or floods, could have caused the rapid disappearance of Mohenjo Daro. These theories are supported by the presence of a sophisticated drainage system in the city, which suggests a constant concern for flooding, common in the monsoon region. Despite the different hypotheses, the mystery of Mohenjo Daro persists, fueling the fascination with this ancient metropolis. Its advanced architecture, urban planning system, and the complexity of its society continue to be subjects of study and debate among archaeologists and historians. These investigations not only enrich our understanding of human history but also prompt reflection on how past civilizations managed environmental and social challenges. Furthermore, the legend of the Vimanas, described in ancient texts as flying machines used by the gods, continues to enchant and stimulate the imagination. While many consider these stories as myths or religious symbolism, some researchers see connections between these tales and modern theories about ancient technology or even extraterrestrial visits. In conclusion, while theories about Mohenjo Daro and the Vimanas may range from conventional archaeology to more speculative hypotheses, what remains clear is the invaluable value of these studies for our global cultural heritage. They not only offer insights into the daily life, beliefs, and technologies of ancient civilizations but also invite us to consider the resilience and ingenuity of humans in the face of immense challenges. As research and discoveries continue, the story of Mohenjo Daro remains a powerful testament to ancient glory and the mystery that still surrounds many of our most remote origins.